So the biggest loser of the debate. Jimmy alluded to this earlier in our live coverage about Kasich being a loser. In the beginning, I thought he was doing what it's his go-to moves. It's his only chance. I balance the budget. And you know what? I'm the sane one on this stage, right? And I'm going to tell you that these guys are unrealistic. And if you want someone who can actually get the job done, go to me. And I thought that was well played in the beginning. But he really lost the crowd as he went along. And
they booed him.
Yeah, they booed him near the end. And so it was too much of a dose of reality. The Republicans were like, okay, I mean, you want to give me a sliver of reality? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Oh, right. You give me a lot of reality. Oh, I don't live in that world. I don't live in that reality-based world. Boo.
Yeah.
So I think he jumped the shark a little bit there.
What Kasich was saying to them was, hey, we're keeping the Mexicans and I'm bailing out the banks again. Vote for me.
Yeah.
That's not a winning message for a Republican.
Yeah. When he said he'd bail out the banks, they were not buying that.
No.
Yeah. Now, you remember Kasich worked for Lehman, which got bailed out, or didn't get bailed out, right? But it's not like they had to give the money back. Did Kasich ever give the money back?
No.
Yeah. That he made at Lehman,
Millions.
Right? Did the people who had deals with Lehman get the money back from Kasich? No, they didn't, right? So anyway, that didn't work for him, even though it was, again, more realistic than what the other guys were saying. I'm going to build the banks in a way that they'll never crash again. How? I'm going to do that because I'm going to do...
Less regulation.
No, but in the beginning they say, I'm going to make sure that they have higher capital requirements. That's regulation. Ben Carson started talking about how he's going to put some safety checks on the banks. That's regulation.
That's regulation.
Yep.
And then they would turn around in the same answer and say, deregulate. Okay, so that makes no sense at all, but it doesn't have to make sense. It's a Republican debate.
Yeah.
Okay, but the other big loser, and I think bigger loser, continues to be Jeb Bush.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you on that. Jeb Bush looked nervous. He had many awkward moments where he was about to say something and then he stopped himself and then started saying something else. He seems very, low in self-esteem. I don't know if that's the word.
Low energy?
Yeah. Low energy, definitely low energy. There's no question about that. And just uncertain. He's uncertain in his answering, and I think that's going to hurt him even more.
He's like some politicians, like you can hate them. You can think they're creepy or smarmy. But they're still they still have that politician-y thing. He doesn't have it.
Marco Rubio, he's very polished.
Right.
He's
Ted Cruz.
Marco Rubio, I think, is leagues ahead of him. But even like a Ted Cruz, who's got that smarmy, I can sort of see how he could fool some rubes. I don't know how Jeb Bush has ever won an election. What idiot, what loser, what fool has he gone against that he was able to beat? He wouldn't vote for himself after these debates. And the reason he's the biggest loser is because he's lost so many debates now. He doesn't have anything to draw up from within himself. He's not going to come back. He's not going to have a good debate. He can't have a good debate at this point.
You know what? I'm calling it. Jeb Bush is done. Okay, there's no comeback. And long time ago, one of the first articles I wrote for Huffington Post was George W. Bush is fallen and he won't get up. Right. His ratings had started to plummet. It was around 2005, maybe early 2006. And everybody at the time, Tim Russert was talking about on Meet the Press, the narrative of Bush's comeback. Because they like that. They like the ups and downs. But I'm like, comeback based on what? Right? You want him to make a comeback, so that's a good story for you. But the guy doesn't have a comeback in him, right? And the same is true of Jeb Bush. In George Bush, it's true for policy. There's no comeback in George Bush for policy. He doesn't have any policies. They're all disastrous. For Jeb Bush, it's in politics. He's really bad at it. So how did he win before, John? He had the name Bush that equaled a ton of money. And when you're running at a state level, money is so much more important because you're going to buy so many more ads. Whereas at the national presidential level, well, we're all seeing the debates, right? Yeah. So your money can't overwhelm others with a larger megaphone because the largest megaphone is when you're all on the stage together, and then you're exposed. He's a really bad politician. He's unsure of himself. It's obvious that he's getting consulting, telling him, "Hey, attack Marco Rubio." So he attacks Marco Rubio in the last debate.
Right.
Rubio gives him a kidney punch. He's like, "Oh, stick it! Oh God!" And he crumbles.
Don't attack him anymore.
Right now they say go after Hillary Clinton 4 or 5 times. He's like, and then let me tell you, Hillary Clinton, dude, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Your consultant told you to do that. And then he says stupid things on the campaign trail like, I eat nails before breakfast. Right? No, dude, you're awkward. Clean up, go home, you're done. He has no chance of winning. He's done.
This might sound funny, but I think the person, Jeb Bush, he's certainly the loser. He's just he lost a long time ago, though. He just keeps showing up to remind people that he lost. Yeah. Right? Remember me? Come on, give me a break over here. Come on. I mean, come on.
Have you seen that Supergirl? She's hot. I do her.
I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, give me a break.
So done.
But so
right.
he is.
He's mainly known for, come on, give me a break.
Come on, give me a break.
That and wanting to kill baby Hitler. That's what he's known for at this
But
point.
I think the loser here is Trump because the Republicans started to boo his bullshit and his meanness and his dismissiveness to people like Kasich, who even though they might disagree with him, they respect Kasich as being, from the balancing the budget in the 90s, being part of the thing, and also being a governor in Ohio. So I think people kind of respect Kasich for that. And it was funny to hear them boo Trump. And so the more the people at home see Donald Trump being disrespected and losing, because that's what that is. When people boo you, you're losing. And when they see that, and then there's the crack. And I think that's what's happened tonight. First time you see him get booed, he will continue to get bigger boos as the debates go on.
Yeah.
But when Jeb Bush sees a crack, he feels the void.
He feels the void.
And I think that Trump is being protected for some reason by the media that supposedly doesn't like him, Fox News in particular, who supposedly doesn't like him, aside from Fox and Friends and Hannity. He's being protected because they still refuse to admit, they would say before, when he was up big over everybody, they kept saying, you're the front runner, you're the winner, you're beating everybody. They kept letting him say it. But for some reason, it's been 2 debates now, and they refuse to admit that he's losing in polls to Ben Carson, not just at the national level, but in particular states. In Iowa, in a lot of polls, in South Carolina recently, they refuse to admit that he's losing. And for some reason, Ben Carson has no interest in pointing out that he's winning the polls. He refuses to admit it. If it was a lie, he'd tell it. But now that it's the truth, he's not interested.
So the reason they won't point it out with Trump is twofold. One is Trump is great for ratings, so they don't want him going anywhere. Okay. Number 2 is he's yelled at him so much. Oh, you're against me. Oh, you should be fired. And look, you tell a reporter they should be fired, they're going to panic. Like he did that with a CNN reporter recently. You threaten their livelihood, and they're like, okay, no, I'm sorry. No, Mr. Trump. No, you're the front runner, Mr. Trump, right? And so that he's done that at large with the media. So they're cowed. So he beat them down in an amazing way. It was fantastic, really. It was just the best thing. It made my head spin.
I'm hearing great things.
Right.